Hi there, welcome to another educational video documenting my Web3 expeditions. This video is about Kaito AI as perhaps the most prominent path to a wide range of airdrops guaranteed. And all you have to do is onboard on Kaito AI. The link will be in the description with your X account and start talking Web3 on X. Whether you are creating posts about these projects or engaging in the replies. Just cover Web3 as broadly as possible, organically, and you will start ranking on Kaito. The scoring by Kaito is done by AI. If you read the documentation, you will have a gist on the metrics and parameters it looks for when it comes to ranking. Altogether, I believe that your visibility on X matters. You know, how X itself perceives you, I believe matters. But based on experience, if you are as simply as organic, you will definitely be contributing to the mind share of projects. On projects featured on Kaito. That brings us to another, salient approach when it comes to Kaito. Some may favor targeting specific projects on Kaito, perhaps those that are under the radar, and gives them a chance of dominance. While the documentation of Kaito says you can cover Web3 in general, some may want to target projects featured on Kaito AI strategically. Now, left to me, we have the pre-TGE category. It's a hot zone. Many people are ransacking this category and actively covering the projects here. But under looking the post TGE category, assuming that these projects have had an airdrop already and the prospect of having, a secondary airdrop is slim. Now, I'm also targeting the post TGE category because I believe that some of them have the prospect of a secondary airdrop and they are likely to target it at, social activity. And most of them nowadays, their course for targeting socially active users is via Kaito. Now, if you look at the reward station very quickly, now this station is not for airdrop specifically. In some cases it is, but in many cases it's for like campaigns that carry its own unique rewards, airdrop aside. Sometimes the reward is USDC. For example, Multiplyfy has a campaign running that involves USDC rewards. This is different from the airdrop proper of their native token. Okay. Kaya is a post TGE project that is giving away 100k worth of Kaya across 3 phases. Okay, so each of the projects here, they have their own unique parameters for how they'll be distributed rewards and what type of rewards. MNT is a post TGE project as well, 150k MNT for top 50 yappers on their 30-day leaderboard. Now, if you feel that you have a chance of being a top 50 yapper, then you can focus here. Otherwise you may want to focus on other projects. For example, me, I don't think for Mantle, maybe it's possible, depending on how actively you cover Mantle. Because it's a post AG project, many people may not, may underlook it. So where you study the leaderboard and realize that that's the case and you have a chance of dominance, then you can, participate here. Okay, but for this one looks more interesting because here Polkadot Treasury has set aside a total reward pool of 600k dot over 6 months with 100k dots distributed at the end of each month. Now for this one, it's not clear how they will distribute it. There is no indication that they are targeting top users. So you may have a chance of a small allocation participating here compared to this where only the top 50 yappers are targeted. Kwai is distributing 5.5 million Kwai for all participants in the general Kaito leaderboard and 500k Kwai exclusively for Kwai specific leaderboard. So here they are targeting all participants, whether you talk about Kwai or not. where you talk about quite a bonus. This is a post TGE project that may not have much coverage. Sofan is pre-TGE, but you'll see besides a prospective airdrop, considering they are on the pre-TGE category here, they have another rewards campaign involving USDC 150k. Okay, targeting once again the top 50 yappers, so it may be hard to compete here. So that brings us to strategy. Say is targeting the top 50 yappers as well in the 30-day leaderboard, distributing 26k. So you have to take a look at all these projects, see how their leaderboard is, level of traction, to see if you have a chance, you know. Otherwise, you may want to extend your coverage to other projects such as Lombard, where it looks like everyone will benefit. They are distributing 1 million up to $5 million for all yappers until December 2025. I don't know if the rewards here is USDC reward or their native token. This is a pre-TGE project, but there is a more of a chance here to have a share. Okay, so like I said, the reward station isn't specifically for airdrops. It's a campaign, you know, besides an airdrop. Now, for the airdrop, it's likely that projects featured in the pre-TGE category would have an airdrop and an allocation targeting the regular user. I mean, targeting, you know, users in general within the Kaito ecosystem. Okay, there is also VC Arena. Now, there are projects here that I doubt people are covering. You know, some people I'm sure are here having dominance because there's limited coverage left to me. You know, I doubt people are talking about Dragonfly, 1KX, you know. Now, this may be a chance to be dominant because in this category, though you're not targeting specific projects, you're contributing to the mind share of Kaito entirely and you'll be earning yaps. Now, thinking of it, I'm going to experiment in this category also as my way of understudying these venture capitalists. And I'll tell you in the next video if there was any reaction in terms of YAP earning. Now, there's something that people are mistaken about when it comes to Kaito AI. They simply look at YAP earnings. You shouldn't. Even if you've not earned YAPs, you can still earn airdrops. I have earned airdrops on the basis of my coverage of projects on Kaito, even though I didn't have YAPs. I'm not a high YAP earner, but even though you're not a high YAP earner, you still contribute to the mind share. Also, even if you are not ranked on the top 100k, I'm sorry, 100 yappers, you know, on Kaito, only the top 100 yappers are displayed per project. It doesn't mean that you're not contributing to the mindshare. It just means that you are not amongst the top 100, meaning that you will still be eligible for an airdrop. You know, though you're not on display on Kaito. So bottom line is you shouldn't be discouraged. Just be organically and actively covering projects in the niche of Web3 and where possible, projects on Kaito. You can also study users. There are different categories here. There's also this crypto AI. So this is likely underlooked. It's a broader niche and it's more generic, and you'll see there are people ranking here. There's also the niche of agent AI. So coverage of that niche, though a broader niche, they're not specific products you can target. They give you it's considered contribution. Now, interestingly, in this niche, it looks like the top users here have large followers. I don't know why. Okay, but now if you want to imitate users, understudy them, this will help. You know, how does the Kaito AI bot considers this user casual, for the most part hardcore. So if you want to follow this user's approach, then you can by going to their Twitter account and understanding how they post. It's also is also regarded a curator over a poster. Then copy paste versus creative 50-50. Now this doesn't mean that only when you have large following can you dominate on Kaito. The answer is a big no, because if you look at, let's go to more specific leaderboards, and you look at the top people here, you will see many of them don't have large followers, many of them don't have many smart followers. For example, this user, which is topping this dashboard here, has only 1,600 followers, 228 smart followers. Now, this user has 348 and 80 smart followers. Now, smart followers do help, but you'll see the top 5 here is 262 followers and has only 5 smart followers. So this is encouraging stats. Okay, tells you that this person has only 1 smart follower, top 31, and 1,022 followers. Now, if you don't see yourself on the top 100, when, for example, you're in the 7-day duration, it doesn't mean that you are not in the top 100 in the 30-day duration, so you shouldn't be discouraged. You can check the 30-day duration. Your coverage over the span of 30 days may be more tangible than in the 7-day window, and you may end up seeing yourself in the top 100. Now, if you're not in the top 100, you'll still earn airdrops, just as long as you are on the leaderboard. Except in rare cases where, certain users are targeted, like some different projects have different approaches for distributing their allocation. Some may target users based on yaps earned, some may target top users in the inner circle and stuff like that, but some have favored everyone. And by everyone, you will get a tangible allocation. I don't know how many users are being tracked, but not that many based on the airdrop distributions earned so far. Now, where you can build a tool to reveal additional information about Kaito, like, more beyond the top 100, those are relevant tools to build. There's many tools that can be built around Kaito. Bringing us to the end of this video. If you have not started on here yet, on board, I'll put the invite link in the description. I'll also put a Telegram if you're interested in discussing things Kaito. I'm all ears for that, so I'll put a Telegram you can join. Now, in the realm of Kaito, you can also check Wallet Chain. It's new, similar to Kaito, but still new. It's still very, it's invite only, very few users on there, and chance to be dominant is you have that on here because it's new. Also uses AI to track interactions on X and scores you, which earns you quacks. So in the same vein as you interact with Kaito, you'll be earning quacks on World Chain if you're onboarded there. But World Chain is more broad, allows you to be as expressive as can be to cover Web3 and in its entirety. But like I said, it's invite only. I'll put a Twitter post in the description where you can apply for an invite. It's not guaranteed that you'll be invited successfully, but where you are invited, I'll tell you. The reason is because some users have low score and it's not sufficient enough to be invited. For example, this user, low score, so I cannot invite that user successfully. Low score. So if your account has a high score, I have some invites. Bringing us to the end of this video. Subscribe to Web3 Wikis on all socials. Go to airdropc.com and submit your email here to subscribe to airdrop reminders. I'm currently working on 100 solid airdrop opportunities. Each will have its own publication tutorial that will be released soon and sent out in a publication to subscribers. Contact me using this contact form, this Telegram, and this Twitter. Subscribe to Web3 Wikis on all socials. Stay awesome. Take action.